Okay. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you are having a beautiful day because we are here to talk about a beautiful topic, Beliefs 101, what they are and how they shape your life. So, welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where each and every week we explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And so, as we're talking about beliefs today, we're going to look at how your beliefs actually influence your daily decisions, your relationships, and your success in life. So, if you've ever lacked confidence or maybe heard voices of self doubt just taunting you, and maybe you've seen yourself avoid some really good opportunities that you knew you should take, or on the flip side, maybe you've had times where you've experienced the opposite and felt totally on top of the world and cheered yourself on from the rooftops when others didn't. And you just saw everything start to work out for you like clockwork. Two polar ends of the opposite side of the spectrum, but these are what beliefs can do for you. And if you've ever felt one or both of those things, you are in the right place because we're going to talk all about that today. And we're really going to look at beliefs and how they shape your life and how they shape your life for the better or for the worse, and how you can really harness them for positive, productive, and proactive change. So some of you know me, some of you don't. I am Larissa McCook, author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom. And we work with professional women here at the Abundance Academy who are already successful, and we help you stop holding yourselves back from what you are truly capable of. We help you manifest your dream life and those secret desires you've had that you may not have admitted to anyone else, so you can have the life and business of your dreams because you absolutely deserve it. So I would love to know where you're coming in from. And if you're tuning in by replay, just type in replay in the chat so my team and I can welcome you, because we want to just make sure everyone in our community feels absolutely appreciated. So I do appreciate you and your presence for being here. Now, for years, I taught about beliefs and really how to change negative ones and strengthen positive ones. And I would do a lesson or two here, and I realized that transformation takes time, because for many of us, we have some deep rooted belief systems that don't always change in 5 minutes. They can change in 5 minutes, but they're not. And one of the things that someone said to me in one of our follow-up sessions after the series had ended, and she said, because we spent 10 weeks, we actually did a 10-week series looking at beliefs, looking at the ones that served us and enhancing those, looking at those that didn't serve us and rewriting and shifting those. She said, I didn't feel pressured to change them all at once because I knew there was always tomorrow, and that was okay. So I was okay with doing what I could today. And I think sometimes when we step into this world of change work, we have a lot of beliefs that we might realize are coming at us that aren't serving us, and we may want to change them all at once. My invitation to you is just to give yourself some space and give yourself some time so that you don't force changes that aren't ready to be made. When you are in a state of ease, you can absolutely transform your life for the better, which is exactly what my clients did, which is exactly what started to happen in my community. And that is what we're talking about today, is really looking at what beliefs are, how they shape your life, and how you can start giving yourself the space to make really productive change. Now, a belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Okay, so it's this acceptance that something is true or something that exists. So when you hear the word trust or faith or confidence in something, that's really what we're referring to. It's the meaning that you give an experience and the way you see your world. And these beliefs, they create your reality, because everything I believe is true, everything you believe is true, everything he believes is true, everything she believes is true, everything is true to you, regardless of what someone else says. And it's not worth arguing over, because you ultimately create your reality through your beliefs. And these beliefs are these mental programs or repetitive thought patterns that you have over and over and over again until you decide they're true. And so these are like the stories you tell yourself, and this has exclusive control over your behavior. And so we often experience a belief system. We have a belief system that we grow up with, maybe in our community or in our family or in our culture. And based on the people that we encounter, that starts to shape our belief system. And this is, I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But I think the biggest thing I want you to realize is beliefs are everywhere in your life, and they are controlling who you are, what you do, and the choices that you make. So in the 1990s, Bruce Lipton, he was a biologist actually. He started studying beliefs, and he realized there was a biological component of beliefs. I'm just seeing if I have my book here. It's actually, oh, here it is. It's near my desk. I didn't pull it out. Okay. It's called Biology of Belief. A fabulous book if you are scientific. If not, I'm going to give you some of the Coles Notes versions. Okay. It's a little bit intense if you're not into science. However, what he realized is that the way the cells are in the body, they are, yes, partially shaped genetically. However, the cell's operations are less influenced by genetic code and more by their environment. And so what does this mean? Why does that even matter? Well, if your heredity, right, the traits that your parents and your biological ancestors pass down to you are less important than the environment that you grow up in. And so this is huge, because the parents that you have and your actual environment starts to shape your character. The teachers that you have, they start to influence your thinking. The friends that you spend time with, their beliefs, right? The pressure, the peer pressure that you have, like what kind of peer pressure is it? That's going to shape how you show up in your day-to-day. And the behavior of your cells aren't they're not just determined by one thing or one switch. It's actually like a computer chip. Okay, so the way your cell membrane works, the way your cells operate in your body are kind of like a computer chip. And the cool thing about computers is that they are programmable. And so even though you may have had one set of conditioning at some point in your life, the programmer, the programs that you put into there can change. So I think this is really cool, because prior to that, it wasn't a common way of thinking that your environment has a dramatic influence on who you are and how you show up. Now it's a common way of thinking. There's so much research to support this, but you ultimately are in the driver's seat of your life. It's not this genetic roll of the dice at conception. You are the driver of your own biology. Just like a computer programmer is in charge of putting the right information into the program, you get to shape your destiny. And instead of being a victim, you can be a victor in your life. And so this is really, really huge, because regardless of where you were yesterday is not where you have to be today. And it's not where you have to be tomorrow. And what I think you really need to know is that these beliefs, they can be limiting or unlimiting. They're not good, they're not bad, they're not right, they're not wrong. It is what it is. And your perspectives on your belief system are going to be true to you. So I'm going to give you an example. When I first got into the world of sales, I had no idea what sales was. I didn't even know I was getting into sales. I just happened to step into a world of financial services. And then you had to get your own clients. And so they started training us on sales. I had no perception of what salespeople were or what this industry even was. I just had zero clues. So I didn't have any judgments based on my history. And so I was like, oh, cool, sales. I guess I'm going to learn something new that I have no clue about. And so I stepped in as a diligent student. I thought it was a really cool thing. You get to help people. You get to use certain techniques to show people things from different perspectives. There's a lot of psychology. And what I realized over time, and probably over just a couple of months, is that a lot of people had these negative beliefs towards sales based on their previous experience. And I didn't have those. And so at first I was like, cool, this thing sales. I'm just going to learn it. And then over time, I started doubting myself. I started thinking, oh, well, maybe sales is a dirty word. And maybe sales is associated with the used car salesman. Again, I had no reference for this, but people started instilling their paradigms on me. And I started adopting that belief system just because of the environment of who I was around. And these were other people learning about sales in the financial services industry alongside me. And I was, and it made me feel uncomfortable because it started turning this thing that I had genuine curiosity about into something that rubbed me the wrong way. Over time, I was able to reframe that. Thank goodness. I saw a better way of thinking about it. However, it really opened my eyes to the power that other people have and the power they have to influence your behavior, to influence your belief system, and influence how you show up and think about something. And so, where do your beliefs come from? Okay. So your beliefs are your third most unconscious filter. We have all this information that comes at us into our worlds, and it gets processed at various levels of consciousness. We're not going to get into a big diagram, but there's a great picture I show in many of my trainings. And so there are about 12 million bits of information per second thrown at you most of your life. And you have many different filters that make the information understandable and digestible for you so that you can consciously comprehend it and do something with it in your actual real life. And you can only consciously comprehend about 138 bits of information per second. So 12 million to 138, big difference. And so your beliefs are your third most unconscious filters. So it means this filter operates below the level of consciousness, so you're not fully aware of it. You can become aware of it if you pay attention. However, it's not right there. It's not like this, if you scratch your skin, it turns red and you go, oh, my skin is red. I have a visible sign that something is happening. You may notice the sign, but you may not notice to pay attention because it's just the way it is. And you don't have the language to express it. And so these beliefs that we have in our lives, where do they come from? They've come from anything you've ever experienced, anything you ever saw, anything you ever heard or even observed prior to 7 years of age. And at that point, your mind was like an open book. You didn't judge, you didn't think, you didn't have any of these filters working for you. They came later. And so you started creating mental programs like that. Maybe someone said something mean and you reacted a certain way and you adopted that and you assumed all boys are mean. And then you've had trouble with relationships your whole life. It's a logical thing. A boy says something bad when you're 4. You say all boys are mean. Not going to do that. You try something new that you've never done before. There's a lot of new things that we try. And then someone says, you suck, you're not good at that. Cancel. However, regardless, it's that behavior that you may not be proficient at yet. Like, let's say tying your shoe, but you hear, you suck, you're not good. And you don't contextualize it. And at that time, you're young and you just adopt that as a belief system. And you take that through every other area of your life. And so these are logical responses for us when we're young, but we start to carry them forward with us. And some of them get heavy, like heavy weight in a backpack. And they come from these parents, caregivers, teachers, siblings, friends, the news, maybe television, others that you spend time with. And so it's really important that even if you have young people around, you're critically aware that everything is going into their world. So be careful what you talk about, what you express, what you share around them. And the more you start to notice how these belief systems are impacting your life, then the more you can start taking control over your life, because your belief system, this is the basis of what creates the stories that you tell yourself and others every day. And so one of the ways your belief system is expressed is through your stories and through the things that actually come out of your mouth. My mentor, Bob Proctor, he used to say, most people wouldn't actually say the things they're saying if they were really thinking. If you really pay attention to what comes out of your mouth, most of the things you say, if you really get acutely aware of what they mean, you will start reevaluating that. And that is like the breadcrumbs that lead to your belief system. So if the words you say, the language, maybe record yourself in a conversation, really read the text and notice the meaning, you're going to start pulling things out of there. That's the easiest way to find it. It's kind of like that is essentially the scratch on your skin. If you have a scratch and it's red, that's the sign, that's the end result. Your belief system is also present. How else can you tell what your belief system is? Let's take a look at the results that you have in your life. So in how much money you're earning, the state of your relationships, your overall satisfaction in life. And so really good on, yeah. Thank you. So I think the more we really start looking at the results in our lives, the more we'll have signals to what our belief system is. If our results are really good, chances are you have a good belief system. If your results are not so good, chances are that belief system is not serving you. So again, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just how your belief system is actually serving you and if it's getting you to where you want it to be. If you're miserable, reevaluate a lot of things that you're thinking about. If you're generally happy, great. You're probably going to find one or two small areas of your life you want to fine tune. Okay. And so when I was sharing about this belief boot camp that I ran with my clients, one of the things that I did very differently this time was, a lot of times when we study beliefs, we talk about limiting beliefs and we have to change the ones that aren't working. But we wanted to really take the time to honor our positive beliefs as well, because it's really important to notice what's working so you can do more of it. It's also important to notice what's not working so you can tweak it and change it and elevate yourself. And so I really want to instill in you that beliefs are not good or not bad. I know I've said this probably 5 times today, but I want you to realize that when I say beliefs, they can be good, they could be bad, they could be serving you, they might not be. However, it is what it is. This is your opportunity to make the most of it, but recognizing them is the first step. Okay. And really giving yourself that space not to think everything is bad and you have to fix everything in your life. Okay. I want you to honor the good things that are really working. And so how do beliefs shape your life? Okay. Beliefs shape your life in profound ways. So first and foremost, they influence your decision making. They influence how the choices that you make, from small daily actions to significant life decisions. Let's say from whether you drink water or coffee all day long. Not a big deal. However, one might serve you temporarily, but not long term. And let's say in business, right? If you hesitate to make decisions because you doubt yourself, you're never going to make decisions. And indecision is a decision in and of itself. And so there may be some huge decisions that impact your team, your business, the lives of many other people. And if you aren't proficient in your decision-making skills, if you don't have the belief in yourself to make a decision, it's not going to necessarily have a good outcome for other people. Okay, so decision making is one way beliefs shape your life. Identity, the picture you hold of yourself. So your sense of self, and this is how you define who you are. Whenever you say I am, I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm intelligent, I'm an awesome person, I'm in it to win it, I'm a go-getter. These are good things. Versus I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable, I'm not smart enough. Cancel, all those. those are the ones we want to shift, because those aren't going to serve you. They're going to hurt you. And so strong beliefs will foster this sense of aliveness and community, and identity is one major way these beliefs show up. Okay. So they will shape your identity, your belief system, your perspective. So two people can face the same situation and react very differently based on their underlying beliefs. And I did a keynote earlier this year where I talked about Hurricane Katrina, and there's some hurricanes coming right now in Florida and down south. And there was a film clip that I saw, and there was this one couple where they were just devastated, and they were saying like, oh my gosh, like our whole life is over, our house is gone, things are just terrible, we don't know how we're going to respond, we don't know how we're going to get by. Their belief system was when their physical possessions are gone, they have nothing. Versus another couple that had a very different perspective, and they said, you know, we may have lost our house, we lost a lot of our physical things, but you know, we still have each other. Our neighbors are safe for the most part. There weren't a lot of injuries in this area. Like, we feel so incredibly blessed. And look, we have a great chance to start over. They saw this challenge as an opportunity for triumph, but their belief system was everything happens for a reason. We get to go figure out how to make the best of it. And so really important that we look at perspective. Another one is motivation, right? Your beliefs can drive you towards your goal or hold you back. And when you are absolutely motivated, you will pursue what you desire no matter what, even if you're afraid. However, if you believe that failure is a sign that you're not good enough, if you believe that failure is always following you around, instead of believing like failure is feedback, failure is another opportunity for me to take the next step, the motivation is not going to be there. And when you truly have motivation, and when you truly have good enough reasons, when you believe that you are born and destined to be in this world and to do great things, which is my belief. I believe I am born to do great things. I believe you are here and ready and available to do beautiful and great things. And my belief is that we are all here for a reason. And I am motivated to help so many other people across the world to experience that and to live out their fullest potential. That's my full belief. And so I have that motivation to keep going. Even when things don't seem to work out on the surface, I find another way. Okay. So they show up in your motivation. So motivation shapes your life. And then also emotional response. Okay, so your beliefs impact how you feel about yourself and your circumstances. They can foster resilience when negative beliefs or not such effective beliefs, they can lead to anxiety, to depression, to stress, to really interpreting things in a difficult way. And when you truly do have that positive identity that moves you forward, and you know how to manage your emotions, you know how to breathe through things, how to move through things, you can start getting curious. You can start surprising and delighting yourself and stepping into that beautiful state more of the time, versus dripping down into this negative spiral or this suffering state with your emotional response. And again, that is your choice. And so ultimately, really reflecting and understanding your beliefs can lead to personal growth and a beautiful, rich, and fulfilling life. And what you need to know is, if your beliefs aren't serving you, you can absolutely change them. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow up. We're going to do another session on beliefs where I'm going to talk about how to change your beliefs. Okay, so stay tuned. I don't know if it'll be next week or in a couple of weeks. We've got some guests that we're just confirming for these lunch and learns. But if you want to learn how to change a belief, how to strengthen a belief, how to elevate a belief, I will be talking more about that in a part 2 of this series. But what you do need to know is there's many different ways. There's not just one way. There's lots of different ways. They can all work. And the only thing you've got to do is do them. And so if you feel like you've got beliefs that aren't serving you, you can make the decision to say, yeah, I've decided that I'm going to change this. I've decided that I'm going to move forward and start shifting my reality because I am absolutely worth it. Because everything I believe is true. My assumptions about the world determine how I show up in it. My assumptions about the world determine my experience about it. Okay. So I hope this has been helpful, really looking at beliefs. They're not good. They're not bad. It is what it is. These are your third most unconscious filter. And these beliefs come from your environment primarily, a little bit from genetics, mostly from your environment. And you can absolutely shift them. You can improve your decision making. You can elevate your identity. You can take a new perspective. You can increase your motivation, and you can learn how to better your emotional response as you gain control of your belief system. And the way to see if it's actually working for you or not is by the results that you're getting. So, hope this has been helpful, and stay tuned for part 2. If you do want to read a little bit more while you're waiting for that, in my Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away book, there is a chapter on letting go of your limitations. I believe it's chapter Let Go of Your Limitations in a Snap. So that is on page 63. And so it's chapter 7 in the Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away book, where I actually talk about how to rewrite your limiting beliefs. So I talk about one strategy in depth in this area. And I talk a little bit more about beliefs. So you can actually start studying the subject. The more you understand it, the more you'll get it. I shared a lot of things. Even what I shared today probably took me about 3 years to really start understanding fully. So if you didn't get everything today, don't worry. But you can start studying this in the Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away book. And what we'll do is I'll make sure my team posts a link for you to access a downloadable copy. It is available on Amazon if you like the printed copy. So you can go to Amazon for the printed copy. Or if you want a free downloadable copy, just check out the link in the chat. There's a lot of bonuses that go along with it, and it's really, really, really helpful. So until next time, stay tuned, have fun, elevate and shift your belief system, and I will see you again very, very soon.